What's up, people? Welcome back to another explanation video. This time I'm gonna go over Dex Effects Crit. Now here's the thing. First of all, I'm gonna mention that don't get me wrong. You do like that. It's not mean like the more Dex you have, the more you'll hit crit. So that's not what I meant. So I'm gonna show you guys what I meant when I transition to the boss fight, and I'll explain the stuff I'm gonna use, the builds, and the setups, and the testing. And yeah, and let's get started, shall we? Okay, so I'm gonna go over the gears and how this testing works, and to show you guys what exactly I meant by Dex Effects Crit. So now the weapons I'll be using is Earthshakers. That has no dex. And the other version of the test, I'll be using Skyrim that has built-in dex. So the armors, I'll show in the customization, but here's don't matter that much. Actually, it doesn't matter at all. I mainly just use for the buff, like the armors and accessory. And that's not what I meant by dex. It doesn't mean you have doesn't mean the more dex you have in this game, you'll crit more. That's not how it works. So I'm gonna go over Starburst Custom, and as for passive, anything is fine. Honestly, I put more accuracy on, but at level 100, I don't really need a lot of accuracy for North, so just more than enough. Okay, let's go over the customization for the Starburst. Steel armor, strength and agility, no dex. Forgotten Rain, vitality, agility, no dex. Actually, yeah, Abyssal Gauntlet. I was gonna say, maybe Rising Spirit 5%, but never mind, because I don't really have any dex in general built in. So, yep, just strength, agility. So this is basically pure strength and agility build. If I want double Abyssal Gauntlet, the pure strength agility build, I'll take off the Forgotten Earring and put the my first accessory Abyssal Gauntlet so I can double it, but I don't think it matters. In this case, I have no dex customization. I have no dex in my weapon, so I have literally no dex in this setup. So I'm gonna show you guys. It's not gonna crit. It might crit for a bit, but it pretty much not gonna crit at all. It will crit for a bit, but I'm gonna use 3 Reapers and 2 Tiger Resolve, and you might be able to see it's only gonna crit a little bit. Sometimes lucky you get more, sometimes not, you get less. And as for the records, Persona, Nimble, just for accuracy, uptides, whatever. Honestly, it doesn't matter which one I use. The reason why I'm not using Fiery is that there is no point to have more crits, because 2 Tiger Resolve, it's max crit, pretty much, plus because it's 50% crit. And when you're on top of the 3 Reapers, that's like the most crit you're gonna get out of it. So basically 3 Reapers, 2 Tiger, it's pretty much gonna be all crit, so constantly. And in this case, with this kind of setup, no dex, you guys will see, even with 3 Reapers and 2 Tigers, still not gonna be enough crits at all, which is kind of interesting. Because when I already knew this for a long time when I tested back then. Because I was like, maybe dual Earthshaker will be really good for dual wield, since strength and agility will be the perfect adjustment for the weapons. But back in the day, most people didn't really use dual Earthshaker. Even I did use dual Earthshaker back in like when normal Ray exists, and I'm like, why is this thing not critting at all? Like, there's literally no crits. And I couldn't figure it out, but I figured it out later while I'm testing other stuff. So yeah, so we're gonna use 3 crits, 2 Tiger Resolve with no dex built in. And yeah, so you guys can see the like if I don't use 3 Reaper and 2 Tigers, you basically I'm not gonna get any crits at all. So that's just how insane the max crit you're gonna get from 3 Reapers and 2 Tigers. It's a lot. So let's go. I'm gonna buff real quick. So there's the 3rd Reaper. Let's find out. This is very interesting. Like, honestly, a lot of stuff in this game makes no sense, but there's a lot of stuff they really don't explain at all. A lot of stuff that really have to test it out to really find out what the what it really means. So that's how much it crits with 3 Reapers and 2 Tigers. It's not even all crits. So look at that. 1 Starburst, almost no crits. There's only a few hits that's crit. Look, this is a good example. Full Starburst stream has not a single crit. This is barely better. That's 3 Reapers and 2 Tigers. So imagine without any of those, you won't be able to crit at all. That is ridiculous. So that's why I'm trying to prove you guys that show you guys that the built-in like weapons, or if you don't, oops, I can't show the in the middle of the battle, but like basically like if you're just going for pure strength and agility or anything without dex, you're not gonna crit too much. Like as you just saw that's 3 Reapers and 2 Tiger. That's pretty much maximum crit. So I'm gonna transition to when I'm using dual Skyrim, and then you guys will see the differences with the same setup. Okay, so now this time I'll be testing the Skyrim. Skyrim has built-in dex, and yeah, and I will show huge differences between Skyrim and Earthshakers. So Earthshaker, the last setup has nothing built into the dex. This time I have the built-in dex with Skyrim, and the custom is the same. So yeah, and I'm gonna go use the same buffs. We should be able to see much more crit, and I'll conclude after doing it for 3 Reapers and stuff, and I'll explain why. So it'll be interesting though, because that should be the 3rd one and 2nd Reaper. I mean, yeah, 3rd Reaper, 2 Tiger. The same setup with built-in dex. Starburst. Much more better. Look at this. It's almost every hit to crit. Compared to Earthshakers, the full Starburst was no crit. So this is pretty much hitting the I'm not even using dex customization, just the weapon alone. With the same buff, but that's built dex. Look at that. It's pretty much all crit. So yeah, you need dex to crit, basically. Now, like I say, don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean the more dex you have, or in the customization, the more crit you'll hit. That is not the case. What I meant is that you need just dex. Like, not like how much you'll need, it's just dex in general. You can have like 10, 20 dex, it still works. So I don't know why Dex is in like affects crit in this game. Like if you have no Dex in it, you won't be able to crit as much. But if you have somewhat of a Dex in it, either the built-in or the from the accessory, you know. I can't show it here because it's the middle of battle. For example, if I put a Ring of Tranquility that has all 4 stats, Abyssal Ring that has Strength and Dex, that has a Dex built into it, and it crits just fine. But yeah, just to show you guys, it is important to have Dex in your build if you want crit. If you have pure strength and agility, like stuff that has no crits in it, I mean not crit, Dex into it, you're not gonna crit much. I mean you might be able to crit, but that was like 3 Reapers and 2 Tiger. That's max, pretty much maxed out crit. That's almost 100% on the Skyrim when it has like the built-in Dex. So it is kind of strange game mechanic. No idea, because there's nothing that says about you need Dex to crit in this game, which is very, very strange. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this testing and somewhat of explanation. But next video I will explain how you crit more. Basically, I'm gonna go move on to the topic of crit in general in this game, and there will be very interesting. And I also got quite a few like explanation videos and stuff. So I'll be also trying to finish up uploading the shards for the other weapons, maybe do some arenas, and hopefully next month DLC will be out. We got plenty of time, you know, so yep, I hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time.